Jai Mahamaya ki jai, Bole Baba ki jai. In our last discourse, we learned about Satya Vrata and the power of the Devi mantra. We'll go on now to chapter 12 of the third book of the Srimad, Devi Bhagavatam. King Janamejaya spoke, "O Lord, kindly describe the rules and regulations as to how the Devi Yagya sacrifice is performed with its duly prescribed rites and ceremonies. Hearing it, I will perform it as far as it lies in my power with as little delay as possible. How is the worship done? What are the mantras? What are the articles required for oblations? How many Brahmins are required, and what dakshina is to be paid to them? Describe all this in detail, please." Vedavyasa said, "O king, I am telling you duly how the Devi Yagya is performed here. The actions are always threefold, according as the preparations are made and according as they are practiced with regard to the observed rites. The threefold divisions are sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. The munis do the sattvic puja, the kings celebrate the rajasic, and the demons do the tamasic pujas. There is another puja which is devoid of qualities and which is performed by the liberated wise ones. I will describe to you all these in detail. O king, the yagya is called sattvic when it is performed in a sattvic country, at a sattvic time, when the materials collected are earned rightly, when the manner of those of the Vedas, when the mantras are those of the Vedas, when the Brahman is sincere, where there is sattvic faith, void of any attachment towards essential objects, when all these things happen to coincide, O king, when all the above takes place, and where there is purification of materials, actions, and mantras, when the materials are all right, when the actions are done as they ought to be, and where there is no error or omission in the mantras, then and then only the yagya becomes perfect and no doubt yield full results, and there would be nothing contrary to this. If the yagya is performed with articles not rightly earned, then there is no there's no benefit either in this world, nor there is any reward in the next world. Therefore, it is necessary that the yagya should be performed with rightly earned materials. Then there is success in this world and better state in the next world, and happiness is also acquired. There is no doubt in this. O Queen, it is before your eyes, as it were, that the Pandavas performed the Rajasuya Yagya, the king of sacrifices, and on the completion whereof the excellent dakshinas were paid to the Brahmins and others. In that Yagya, the highly intelligent Sri Krishna himself, the Lord of Yadavas, was present, as well as many other Brahmins and fully enlightened souls. But within 3 months after completing the sacrifice, the Pandavas suffered extreme hardships and had to live with extreme difficulty as exiles in the forest. Consider the insult shown toward Draupadi, the Pandavas' defeat in the playing of gambling, their going away to dwell in the forest. These hardships were borne by the Pandavas. What rewards did then the Pandavas receive from this fancy yagya? All the high-souled Pandavas had to work as slaves as Virata, and Draupadi, the best of women, was very much troubled and insulted by Kikaka. When all these occurred, anyone can easily ask, where are the rewards of the pure-souled Brahmins? Also, what result did they derive from their unflinching devotion towards Sri Krishna when they were involved in the above critical state? No one protected Draupadi, the chaste and the best, the daughter of Drupada, when she was drawn by her hair on her head into the hall of assembly where gambling was being played. O king, how could all these happen in a place where Sri Krishna himself and the high-souled Yudhishthira were present? If one argues, one would conclude there must have been something wrong in that yagya. If you say that nothing was wrong had happened in the yagya, all these were caused by faith, then it comes to this, that the Vedic mantras, the other rituals, and the Vedic rites are all fruitless. It is argued that though the Vedic mantras are powerful enough to bear fruits, yet whatever is predestined to come to pass will surely pass. Then the proposition resolves into this, that all the means, expedient, and appliance lead to meaningless conclusions. Then the Agamas, the Vedas, merely recommend a vidhi or precept by stating the good arising from it in proper observances, and the evils arising from it if there's omission, and also by citing historical instances as its support. In other words, they are powerless as far as bearing fruits is concerned. All the acts are meaningless. Asceticism to attain heaven comes as useless, and the peculiar duties of caste are fruitless. O king, this view is exceedingly culpable. It is never fit for acceptance by the whole high-souled persons. O king, if what is laid by God in the womb of futurity, a state of things preordained by God in which it is sure to take place in the fullness of time, be taken as the first-hand proof, then all the other proofs are rendered null and void. Therefore, fate and human exertion both are to be undoubtedly taken into account to ensure success. Human exertion being amplified, if the results come otherwise, the wise pundits would infer that some defects, omissions, or imperfections crept into the work. All the pundits, very learned and institutors of sacrifice, have classed karmas under different headings according as the agents, mantras, and articles employed in the worship vary. Once on an occasion, Vishvarupa, ordained as guru by Indra at a yagya, intentionally did things contrary so as to benefit the demons who belonged to his mother's side. Vishvarupa uttered repeatedly the mantras beneficial to the gods while they were present, and during their absence prayed heartily for the welfare of the demons, and in the long run protected the demons. On seeing the Asuras gaining strength, Indra, the lord of the Devas, became very much enraged and instantly cut off Vishvarupa's head by the thunderbolt. O king, this is then the instance where that contrary fruits were born out of the agent employed. Excuse me. Out of the agents employed in performing the yagya. There is no doubt in this. This is not possible in other cases. See again the king Pankala excuse me. The king Pankala performed his sacrifices to get a son, to kill Drona, the son of Bharadvaja. And though he did this out of angry motives, still a son was born out of fire, and Draupadi sprang out of the altar. Again, in days of yore, Dasaratha, the king of Kosala, was sonless, and he instituted a sacrifice to get one son. And lo, he got 4 sons. Therefore, O king, if the yaga be performed according to proper rules and regulations, it yields fruits in all respects. Again, if it is done unrighteously, without any regard for the rules, etc., it yields results just contrary. There is no doubt in this. Therefore, there must have been some defects in the yagya of the Pandavas. Hence, contrary effects ensued, and therefore the truthful king Yudhishthira and his powerful brothers and the chaste Draupadi were all defeated in the play at dice. It might be that the materials were not of good stamp. They were all earned by killing the kings. Good men are in number and earned thus unrighteously, or it might happen that the Pandavas did their yagas with too much egotism. However, this is certain, that there had crept in some defects of their actions. Bole Baba ki jai, Jai Mahamaya ki jai.